We are once again talking about Donald Trump's finances, and I want to go through the roller coaster a bit and if you could break it down for us further. So, there's a lot of back and forth, as we know, with his bond. It decreased from $445 million to $175 million, and it was posted on Monday night. So, before we get into how it was posted, can you talk about how it was decreased in the first place?
So Trump filed an appeal arguing that it was unfair for him to have to pay the whole thing up front. It would be, he would have to liquidate a bunch of buildings to come up with that money. And if the fine was later reduced or struck altogether, his punishment would have already happened because he would have already had to sell those buildings at at a loss, most likely in a fire sale. So they did go ahead and reduce the amount of the appeals court did reduce the amount of what he had to post from that 454 down to 175, just 175 million dollars.
Still a lot of money, but it was slashed a couple hundred million. How was he able to post it?
He got a bond here, so this actually is interesting. The court filing came in last night, Monday night. It came through around 7 o'clock. That it had been paid by this group called Knight Specialty Insurance Company, and that they had supplied the $175 million for a bond. So as we looked up Knight Specialty Insurance Company, not a company I was familiar with, one of our editors realized it was the man behind it is named Don Hankey. He is a billionaire who Forbes has reported on a lot in the past. So I reached out to him. He's somebody that we have previously called it's like the king of high interest loans for cars. So I reached out to him and asked, how did this deal come about? And he said that, like everybody else, he had seen all this news coverage that Trump was in a bit of a cash crunch, needed some money. He reached out to Trump before actually the amount had been struck down. So back when it was still the original 454 million, he reached out and to see if they could make a deal. A couple days into negotiations, the amount was struck down to 175 million. And, he said they worked out an agreement there. And for collateral, Trump used a combination of cash and investment grade investment bonds.